I think he's good. I mean, he's he's a typical first-round pick that you find in the SEC. He's going to run it up there in the mid-90s, and when he starts throwing sliders and, heading the counter, 3-2 pitches, and right in the first batter of the game, he threw a 3-2 slider to Sean McMullen, leading off the game. He threw it one time. I gave Katz a green light on a 3-0 pitch, and he threw him a 3-0 breaking ball for a strike, and then threw him fastballs after that. So, it was. And when you have to guess with the guy throwing as hard as he throws and as good as his stuff, it just gives him an advantage. He's not just one of those guys that just rears back and throws. He's got the other pitches, and that's just what makes him so tough. He's just, and why he's so advanced, and why you don't expect him to spend much time in the minor leagues. He'll be ready for the big leagues pretty quickly.
Coach, what do you plan to do tomorrow, pitching-wise? I know things are set up optimally for you, but now you have to kind of tweak a little bit.
Yeah, we'll go with Ryan tomorrow. Ryan Eads will pitch tomorrow. And we'll use it whoever we have to. We're just going to play them one game at a time. I know one of you asked a question to one of the players about coming out of the loser's bracket, but it's such a daunting task. If you think in terms of, wow, we got to win Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? 3 more. It can be a little bit overwhelming. So really, all you got to think about is winning tomorrow. We'll play Alabama tomorrow. We know that we'll have a good challenge there. We've got a moderate goal and trying to win our 50th game before we go back to the NCAA tournament. So let's see if we can win one tomorrow, and then if we're fortunate enough to do that, then we'll turn our attention to Arkansas again and take another shot at them on Saturday. We'll just piece it together the best that we can. But you just can't look too far ahead when you get into this position. And, let's just hope we go out there and play a good solid game tomorrow.
Second row in the middle.
Paul, St. Toke, we were talking about Stanek. From your perspective, Nola as well, he also pitched a pretty good game.
Oh, I thought Nola was fantastic. This is the thing, when you give a guy a rest like we gave him, the first thing that you're concerned about is command, basically fastball command. And his command was off slightly today. He only walked one batter, struck out 8, went 7 innings. How many hits did he give up? He only gave up 6 hits. What a performance by the kid. But the problem was it just took him a few more pitches to get guys out than it normally does. He had 20 pitches in the first inning and allowed only 1 base runner. Well, what happens is that catches up with you late in the game. Look, Dave left Stanek for 121? I took him after 108. If I would have left him in for the 8th inning, then perhaps we'd still be playing. I would have gone straight to Cotton. We wouldn't have had to go to our middle relief where we didn't get the job done. But for me, I'm not second-guessing Dave at all. He does what he thinks is right for his guys. But for me, I just want to have Aaron fresh for the NCAA tournament, and I thought the thing to do was to shut him down there. He pitched his heart out. His command was off just a tad, which ran his pitch count up. I was hoping that he could go 8 innings and we could go straight to Cotton, but this is what happens. You have to run guys out there, and you got to give them the experience in this kind of a setting. It didn't work out for us tonight, but there'll be another day where it'll pay off for us.
Okay, front row on the left.
Coach, I think it was the 4th inning. Stanek walked you at the bottom part of your order.
Yeah.
And they walked the bases loaded. Were you thinking maybe he was starting to struggle and you might be able to get to him?
No, that was amazing. We had 3 really good at-bats and fought off some tough pitches, especially Stevenson. He went down 0-2 right away and then worked back a walk. And then Sean McMullen, I'm going to tell you something. He absolutely crushed that ball to deep right center field. And if we're playing in a ballpark where maybe that's a home run or the wind wasn't blowing or whatever, he crushed. He hit the ball as hard as he could and as far as he could, and the kid ran it down. And if that ball falls in there, then it's a whole different ball game, maybe, because then we're up 4-0, maybe more, and they can't hit and run like they did when they had they did the hit and run with Serrano, which tied the ball game up. It's just the way baseball is sometimes. It went against us right there. The complexion of the game changed, and it didn't work out for us in the long run.
The television cameras on the right.
Along those lines, any concern about the offense, or is it part of the pitching can eat you guys up?
Mike, we faced 2 Friday night starters 2 days in a row. These kids, you look at the arms that these kids have, it's unbelievable. I don't know if the board was correct or not, but I saw Stanek throw up 102 there in about the 8th inning. Yesterday the Sullivan kid threw his heart out. He's got a good arm too, so I'm not concerned about the offense at all. It's just when you run up against great arms, you're not going to bang out 15 hits and 10 runs. It just doesn't happen anymore. You can't hit home runs, and you got to string some hits together. We had a couple of chances, had the right guys up. Talked about the time McMullen hit the ball. Another time we had Katz up, I think, with first and second, and, you know, Stanek, after throwing that 3-0 breaking ball, challenged him with 2 fastballs, and he popped them up. You know, I mean, you don't get a lot of opportunities against those guys. You gotta take advantage of them when you get them. If you don't, you're probably not gonna win the game, and that's what happened tonight.
Front and center.